alone. My mind is blank right now. I am writing this to prove that it is not, that there is still a signal, still a frequency, still a pulse beneath the static. But the truth is the blank came first. The words are arriving after, filling the space the blank left behind. Light filling a room when you open a curtain. Not because the light was waiting, because the dark was not strong enough to keep it out. My mind is blank, and the blank is not empty. I keep having to say this. I keep having to distinguish between the blank and the empty because the language treats them as synonyms, and they are not. Empty is a container with nothing in it. Blank is a surface that has not yet been written on. Empty has already been used and found wanting. Blank has not yet been used at all. Empty is aftermath. Blank is before. I am sitting in the before, which is strange because I have been living in the after for years. After the departure, after the subtraction, after the peeling, after the mirror, after the void. Everything I have written has been after. This is the first time I have sat in the before. The before is quiet. The before does not narrate itself. The before does not generate a commentary or a framework or an analysis or an essay. The before is just this, a body, a room, a dark that is not threatening, a silence that is not the absence of sound, but the presence of something that sound was preventing me from hearing. My mind is blank right now. I am alone. Present. I am here. I can feel the chair beneath me. I can feel the weight of the air. I can feel my hands, which are doing what hands do when they are not being watched, resting, curling slightly, holding nothing. I am present like objects are present, occupying space, displacing air, casting a shadow if the light were on. But the light is not on. I am sitting in the dark. The dark does not diminish my presence. The dark reveals it. In the dark I cannot perform. In the dark there is no audience. In the dark, the self that is constructed for other people's consumption, the self that speaks clearly, stands correctly, answers the question, "How are you?" with the appropriate number of words and the appropriate amount of eye contact. That self has nothing to do. That self is a daytime instrument. In the dark, it powers down. What remains is the other presence, the one beneath the performance, the one that does not need to be seen in order to exist. I am present. The room is present. The dark is present. The silence is present. Everything is here. Everything is accounted for. There is no missing thing. There is no absent person. There is no phone that should be ringing, no voice that should be speaking, no body that should be beside me on this chair, in this room, in this dark. Everything is exactly where it is. Nothing is wrong. Then why does the present feel like a question? Absent. Because someone is missing. Someone is always missing. The room is full of air, full of dark, full of the particular quality of silence that only exists in rooms where one person is sitting alone. And the room is also empty. Both of these are true. Both of them are the room. The presence and the absence coexist without contradiction. A glass half full, half empty, both descriptions correct, neither capturing what it feels like to be thirsty. I am thirsty, not for water, for a presence that I cannot name because naming it would pin it to a specific person, and the absence I am describing is not specific, it is structural. It is the shape of the human animal when the human animal is alone, the particular posture, the particular breathing pattern, the particular quality of attention that the body adopts when it is not being witnessed. Muscles relax, breath deepens. The face does something it never does in company. It goes neutral, truly neutral, free of expression, free of communication, free of the constant low-level performance of being a face that other faces can read. The face, alone, is not a face at all. It is just a surface, muscles and skin. The face is a social organ. Remove the society, the organ rests. But the resting is not peace. The resting is a pause, a held breath. The body at rest in a dark room is a body waiting for the door to open, for the phone to ring, for the sound of another person's feet on the floor, for the interruption that will convert the alone back into the accompanied, the solitary back into the social, the blank back into the written on. The body does not know how to stop waiting. The body was built for proximity, for contact, for the specific chemical, neurological event that occurs when one nervous system is in the presence of another nervous system, and the two systems, without choosing to, without even being aware of it, synchronize. Heartbeats align, breathing aligns, the brain's mirror neurons fire, replicating in your body the emotions it reads in the other's face. You do not choose to feel what the person beside you is feeling. You feel it because your body is an instrument, and the instrument is tuned to other instruments, and alone, truly alone, the instrument has nothing to resonate with. Alone, the instrument plays itself. This is a different sound, a thinner sound, a sound that has no harmony, because harmony requires at least two notes, and I am one note. I have been one note in this room for hours. The note is not unpleasant. The note is not painful. The note is just single, unaccompanied, ringing in a dark room without another note to define it, to contextualize it, to tell it whether it is high or low, sharp or flat, beautiful or ordinary. A single note does not know what it is. It requires a second note, a relationship, an interval to acquire meaning. I am the note. The room is the silence between notes. The absence is the second note that is not being played. Close. There are people in my life. I need to say this because the aloneness I am describing is not the aloneness of the isolated, the abandoned, the forgotten. I have people. I have names in my phone. I have faces I recognize, voices I can distinguish from other voices, histories I share with other humans who were present for the same events and who remember them differently, which is the proof that the events were real, because a real event generates multiple memories, and the memories disagree, and the disagreement is the signature of something that actually happened, rather than something that was imagined. I have people. They are close. Some of them are close enough to touch, close enough to call, close enough that the silence between us is not distance but comfort. The kind of silence that only exists between people who have earned the right to be quiet together, who do not need to fill the air with words in order to confirm that the connection is still live. Close. The word implies proximity, nearness, the reduction of distance between 2 points until the distance is negligible, until the 2 points are almost 1 point, until the space between them is so small that it is indistinguishable from contact. Close is almost touching. Close is the last inch before arrival. Close is the word you use when the gap is so small that acknowledging it feels ungrateful, feels petty, feels like complaining about the final step of a staircase you have already climbed. I have people who are close. The gap is small. The gap is so small that from the outside it would be invisible. From the inside, from inside the gap, from inside the last inch, from inside the space between close and touching, the gap is everything. The gap is the difference between a body in a room and a body in a room with someone. The gap is the difference between the present that is occupied and the present that is full. I am occupied. I am not full. Out of reach. This is the part I do not say out loud. The part that lives in the drawer I open at 3 in the morning and close before dawn. The part that the daytime self would call dramatic, would call self-indulgent, would dismiss with a shift of posture and a change of subject because the daytime self does not have the patience for the kind of honesty that only the dark permits. The people who are close are also out of reach. Both of these are true. Proximity is not access. Nearness is not knowing. A person can sit beside you on a couch, shoulder touching shoulder, breathing the same air, watching the same screen, sharing the same room to the centimeter, and be utterly, completely, hermetically unreachable. Because reach is not physical. Reach is the thing that happens when one interior meets another interior, when the inside of me makes contact with the inside of you, when the performance stops on both sides simultaneously, and what is left, the unperformed, the unrehearsed, the raw, touches. This almost never happens. In my experience, my limited 24-year-old, still accumulating experience, this has happened fewer times than I can count on one hand. And each time it happened, it did not last. It could not last. The raw touching of one interior against another is not sustainable. It is a flash, a rupture, a moment where the glass that separates every consciousness from every other consciousness develops a crack, and through the crack, for 1/2 second, you see them, actually see them, the person behind the person, the face behind the face, the note behind the note. Then the glass repairs itself. The performance resumes. The faces go back on, the interiors retreat, and you are sitting on the same couch, shoulder to shoulder, closer than close, near enough to hear each other's heartbeat if the room were quiet enough, and out of reach. I am not blaming anyone for this. I am not even blaming the glass. The glass is necessary. The glass is what makes it possible to function, to work, to move through a world that contains 7 billion interiors without being annihilated by the weight of all that hidden feeling. The glass is insulation. The glass is survival. The glass is the same mirror I wrote about in the other essays. The mirror that was built from necessity, from the need to create distance between the self and the unmediated moment, between the self and the unbearable rawness of contact. The glass protects. The glass also isolates. These are not two different functions. They are the same function, described from two different positions. From inside the glass, it is protection. From outside the glass, it is a wall. I live inside my glass. Everyone I know lives inside theirs. We press our hands against the surfaces. We see each other through the transparency. We mouth words. We gesture. We perform closeness through a medium that permits everything except touch. Close, out of reach, both true, neither resolvable. The condition of every relationship I have ever had, the permanent, structural, non-negotiable gap between one consciousness and another, bridgeable only in flashes, sustainable only in performance, real only in the moments when the performance fails and the glass cracks and the raw, uninsulated interior makes contact with another raw, uninsulated interior, and for 1/2 second you are not alone. Then you are. Present. I am here again, full circle. The room has not changed, the dark has not changed, the silence has not changed. I have not moved from the chair. The blank is still the blank. My mind is still doing its thing, or rather, it has stopped doing its thing, which is its thing now, which is the blank, which is the before, which is the quiet surface that has not yet been written on. In the secrecy of it all, in the hidden layer, the layer beneath the freedom and the absence and the mirror and the void, the layer I have been writing toward for months without knowing I was writing toward it. In the secrecy of it all, the aloneness is not the problem. The aloneness is the room. The aloneness is the dark in which the blank becomes visible. The aloneness is the silence in which the note, the single note, the unaccompanied note, can finally hear itself. Not in relation to another note, not in the context of a chord, a harmony, an interval, just itself, just the frequency, just the vibration of a single consciousness in a single body, in a single room, in the dark. In the secrecy of it all, I have been afraid of this, afraid of the single note, afraid of the sound of myself unaccompanied. Because the unaccompanied self is the self without reference points, without the mirror of another face, without the definition that another person provides by being different from you, without the friction of contact that generates the heat, that generates the feeling, that generates the conviction that you are alive. Alone, the conviction fades. Alone, the aliveness becomes theoretical. I think, therefore I am, Descartes said. But what he did not say is what happens when the thinking stops and you are still here, and the I am has no thought to ride on, no cogito to prop it up, just the bare, blank, undecorated fact of existing in a dark room with no evidence except the weight of the body in the chair and the sound of the breath and the beating of the heart, which does not require my participation, does not require my awareness, does not care whether I am thinking or blank, present or absent, close or out of reach. The heart beats, the lungs fill, the body persists. The persistence does not need the narrator. The persistence does not need the mirror. The persistence does not need the thinking. The persistence is the thing beneath the thinking. The persistence is the thing I have been circling in every essay, orbiting in every meditation, describing with every vocabulary I have: freedom, absence, mirror, void, alone. 5 words for one thing. The thing that remains when everything else has been subtracted. The thing that was there before the subtraction began. The thing that does not require my attention in order to continue. My mind is blank right now. The narrator has paused. The glass has gone clear. The mirror is not reflecting. The void is not void. The absence is not absent. The freedom is not craving. I am just here, in the dark, in the chair, in the room, in the body that is breathing without my help, beating without my instruction, persisting without my permission. Alone. The word used to frighten me. The word used to sound like a diagnosis, a condition to be treated, a deficit to be corrected, a problem in search of a solution that looked like another person, another voice, another body in the room to break the silence, to add a second note, to convert the solo into a duet. It does not frighten me tonight. Tonight, the word sounds different. Tonight, the word sounds like a place, a real place, a location on the map of a life that has been, until now, described only by its absences, its subtractions, its reflections, its voids. Alone is where the blank lives. Alone is where the mind goes quiet. Alone is where the narrator, having narrated everything, the freedom, the absence, the mirror, the void, the making of everything I am not, finally runs out of material and sits down and is still and discovers, in the stillness, that the stillness was never the enemy. The stillness was the room. The room was always here. The room was waiting. In the secrecy of it all, this is what I was writing toward. Not the freedom, not the absence, not the mirror, not the void. This room, this dark, this chair, this blank, this single note, ringing in a silence that does not need to be filled. Present, absent, close, out of reach, present, alone. The note rings. The room holds it. The dark does not diminish it. The silence does not compete with it. The note is mine. It is the only thing I have ever had that I did not subtract from something else, did not build from the wreckage of something I dismantled, did not construct from the materials of loss. The note was here before the loss. The note will be here after. The note does not require an audience, a harmony, a second note to tell it what it is. The note is, I am in the dark, in the chair, in the room, alone, blank, present, still here. My mind is blank right now. That, I am learning, is the first honest thing it has ever been. Frieden, Kiyo,